President Trump is dead serious on this issue. He's dead serious that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. He's dead serious that he wants it done at the negotiating table. He wants it done peacefully. Yeah. And that's why he's going straight to these talks. He set that deadline. These were productive talks yesterday. I don't want to get ahead of our skis. Steve Witkoff does a fantastic job, but it was a good step, and they're gonna go at it again on Saturday. If we can't figure this out at the negotiating table, then there are other options, to include my department, to ensure that Iran never has a nuclear bomb. We hope we never get there.
And then there's this headline by former Secretary of State John Kerry, quote, Trump has a chance to strike a deal with Iran. Tehran has backed itself into a corner, and that boosts the odds of lasting peace through diplomacy. Retired four-star General Jack Keane joining me now. All right, General, not much came out of those talks over the weekend. Is President Trump beginning to lose patience, perhaps?
No, I don't think yet. I think more has to be seen here. I mean, those were preliminary talks establishing a framework for future talks and what the meetings are going, how many meetings they're going to have and who's going to participate in it. So that's kind of where we are. We're at the very preliminary stage of this. But I think my concern is we got to stick to the basic premise here, and that is that Iran does not have a nuclear program nor the means to deliver it. And what does that mean? That means they have to give up the materials to make a nuclear bomb, uranium enrichment, centrifuges, etc. They have to collapse the secret sites to the 250 feet down in the ground and destroy those facilities, because there's no commercial nuclear power program that needs anything like that. And the other thing is the delivery means. The missiles to deliver them, ballistic missiles, they need to give those up. Iran doesn't want to do any of what I just said. Right. And finally, it has to be verified by anywhere, anytime inspections. They don't determine where the inspection is taking place. We determine when we do it and where we do it. They have never, ever granted that. And then on top of that, we've got to stop Iran's proxy behavior. In other words, fueling Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, Iraqi and Shia Sikh militias to destabilize and unrest in the Middle East. That has got to stop. These are the issues that are on the table. And we're not conducting a deal to get to a good price, and we're going to negotiate the price. We got to stick to what I just said as the denominator. And if it isn't happening, then we get up and walk, just like President Trump did in Hanoi when it was obvious that Kim Jong-un was not going to dismantle his nuclear arsenal. At that point, the president and his team got up and walked away. That is what we have to do here, not negotiate ourselves into some kind of compromise, which leaves them with a capability to eventually build a bomb and certainly to do it secretly. That is going to be unacceptable.
Next, what's going on in Ukraine? Russia attacked a Palm Sunday gathering in Ukraine. President Trump's special envoy, Keith Kellogg, condemned the attack, and he said, I'm quoting now, today's Palm Sunday attack by Russian forces on civilian targets in Sumy crosses any line of decency. There are scores of civilian dead and wounded. As a former military leader, I understand targeting, and this is wrong. It is why President Trump is working hard to end this war. General, what is going on here? Why would the Russians do this, killing all these people on Palm Sunday, right after meeting with our peace envoy?
Well, Putin has been targeting civilian populations since the war began. And now, supposedly, he's in negotiations with us about trying to establish a temporary ceasefire, which we can't seem to get to. And what is he doing? He's still killing civilians. This is calculated. He knows full well that on Palm Sunday, which is a very religious holiday in Ukraine, families are gathering to celebrate that religious holiday. He targeted the town center of Sumy in northeastern Ukraine, knowing the result would be civilian casualties, 34 dead, 117 wounded, not a military target in sight. This is all about killing civilians and putting pressure on Ukraine to give up and concessions to the Russians. Putin, does he want peace or not? It doesn't look like it, Stuart. who wants peace? The President of the United States, the President of Ukraine, Zelensky, and the Ukrainian people. I think we're going to have to start to play tough with Putin. Sanctions, hit him hard, and also upscale the military assistance to Ukraine, something Putin will pay significant attention to if you increase Ukraine's military capability. I think we're at that time now to play hardball with him.
Time has arrived, maybe. General, always a pleasure. Thanks so much for joining us. See you again soon, I hope. Thank you, sir.